And there is a focus on rail safety here in Northeast Ohio, and specifically the city of Cleveland, too. City Council is looking at what can be done to prevent a devastating derailment here.
Yeah, Emma Henderson joins us now. She has more on that story. Emma, we have tracks going right through the heart of a major population center here in Cleveland. What were the biggest takeaways from today's meeting?
We absolutely do. So the first thing that they're looking at is actually endorsing legislation that already exists, like the Bipartisan Railway Safety Act of 2023, sponsored by Senators Sherrod Brown and J.D. Vance. At today's meeting, they discussed who would be in charge if a derailment happened here in Cleveland, heard from the law director that it would be the fire chief. And with that news, first responders who were there expressed an interest in additional training for what to do if this particular scenario. That's part of the reason Council is expressing support for the Railroad Safety Act of 2023, because it includes training dollars.
To continue to ensure that we are absolutely at the table supporting our U.S. senators in advancing the Railway Safety Act of 2023. We're going to look through it very carefully and see if there might be some amendments we would offer. Is there anything not currently included in that bill that Cleveland needs to advocate for?
Another main discussion point was local train infrastructure, with multiple people expressing concern about local rail bridges and tracks, saying they are in need of repair before something happens. Councilmember Jenny Spencer told me Council would like to put pressure on railroad companies to make the needed infrastructure repairs now.
Yeah, well, certainly that would be kind of an important deal. Prevent rather than respond.
Exactly.
That is a good way to attack it. All right, so what's next in all of this?
So what's next? They're going to keep pushing for that legislation, keep pushing for that training. They believe there are some ways that they can actually get that training without the rail stuff passing, but that's having to push these rail companies and say, hey, this training is really important. We want our people to be safe. Pay for this training. You know, here's why it's valuable.
Yeah. And I think it is important to note, too, that this is not a new conversation for the city of Cleveland.
No.
They've had this conversation over and over. A number of years ago, I was involved in planning meetings ahead of a tabletop exercise for the evacuation of downtown Cleveland. What would they do in the event of? So they have plans in place for response, but man, you just can't ever practice and talk about it and make sure all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted properly.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
Thanks so much, Emma.